This is Bruce Boudreau, head coach of the Vancouver Canucks, and it's time for Clay's Canucks commentary live. Let's go with Clay right now.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome. Welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary live, presented by Van City Experts Real Estate. I am Canuck Clay Emo, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. I'm so glad that you are here, and I would love it if you subscribed now. Subscribe now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. For those of you that came over from my show with Parker, our show together, Canucks After Dark, thank you. That was our first time where we went back to back, so we're gonna work out a couple kinks. I think maybe I'll give myself a couple more minutes, but it was fine. I was able to do a wardrobe change. I'm not sure who asked me for the sushi shirt, so here it is. This is how I roll. This is how I roll. Get it? This is how I roll, because sushi rolls. So yes, I can't remember who asked for it, but whoever did ask for it, that is just for you. And Justin says, love the shirt. Where and how can I get one? I don't know. I could give you this one, but then you'll smell like me. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. And I can't remember where I got it. Part of me wants to say it was in Hawaii, but that doesn't make sense. Oh, maybe it was. Is this shirt 10 years old from the last time I was in Hawaii before this time? I don't know. But yes, I do love this shirt. I think I got it when I was a little bit skinnier, but I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool, but thank you. And I'm not sure who asked me to wear a sushi shirt, but it is just for all of you. Thanks for being here. Thank you in advance to my moderators. Thanks to members, and thanks to all of you, no matter where you're watching from, whether you're in my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston, Richmond, in the city, in the Lower Mainland, in the province, country, continent, or around the world. Thank you for being here. I do not take you for granted. This is show number 4. We've gone Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we have made it this far. I got another one tomorrow, and then I get a bit of a break, but I'm loving this, and I hope you are loving it as well. So make sure, I forgot to say, thank you. I do not take you for granted as we continue to build a very fun community here on Clay's Canucks commentary on Canuck Clay channel, just as we are on the Canucks After Dark channel. I want to give another shout out to Parker. There was no reason for him not to help me, because he's not like that at all. But he still, I think he went over and beyond and taking some time to help me get set up and being really supportive of what I'm doing. Again, not that he wouldn't, and I support everything that Parker does too. We support each other because we're buds. We're tight like that. So, but yes, the nights where I have back-to-back shows can be a lot of fun. So if any of you are here that were not at Canucks After Dark, make sure you check that out. We usually go Monday nights, but we had to change it to Wednesday this week. We have Lucas here with his donation saying, just awaiting word on my schedule for Rogers Arena for October, but if I fail to get a home opener shift, I'll be likely going as a fan. That is awesome. Yeah, you have the best of both worlds, Lucas. You're either working and making some money, or you are watching and spending some money, but at least you are in the arena. So you guys, like this video, like the fact that we are together, like the fact that we're only a couple weeks away from Canucks hockey. We got Young Stars coming up this weekend. We got training camp going next weekend, and then the Canucks play some exhibition games right after that. So yes, make sure you like this video, and we can get going right away. What I'm going to talk about today is actually the 2 former Canucks that have signed in other places. So I will talk about them. Then I will, for those of you that are remembering, then I will, once I start thanking my sponsors in the middle of this stream, that's when you know that's your cue to start typing in your questions for the second half of the show. And I forgot to mention, if you're listening to this on a podcast platform, whether it's Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you listen to your podcast, thank you. Make sure you rate it and make sure you leave a review. And yes, I was joking around about being number 1 in Hong Kong for one day. I've slipped to number 2, but that's okay. Canucks After Dark was actually number 1 in Hong Kong and Taiwan, Parker told me today, back in earlier this year. So that's pretty cool. So we're making an impact in Asian countries for some reason. Let's talk about these 2 let's Jaskrin. Clay and me, are you tight buds? What does that mean? Clay, Clay, are me and you tight buds? Well, if you continue to compliment me, then yes, I will move you from looser buds, I don't even know if that makes sense, to tighter buds for sure. Did I just call Taiwan a city? Asian? What did I say? Lucas said Taiwan is a country. I thought I said we're good in Asian. Did I say cities? I can't remember what I said now. Half the times I don't even know what I'm saying, but I'm just trying not to say okay as a transition. And I have not done it just yet. So I'm going to try and go perfect. Not perfect in that I'll still stutter, I'll still repeat myself, but I'm trying not to use the word okay as a word whisker. And so far, so good. And Tristan, when it comes to legends, it takes one to know one. Okay. Oh, I just did it. Oh, I just said that I wasn't going to do it. I don't know why I'm talking like this. I just said I wasn't going to do it, and then I just did it. Oh, what's wrong with me? I'm so bad. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I have to try for it tomorrow. Remember, I'm allowed to say something's okay or affirm something okay, but I wasn't going to use it as a transition. Oh. As I was saying, I will talk about the two former Canucks. Tyler Motte, the first news, he signs in Ottawa. 1-year contract worth $1.35 million. He made $1.225 last year, so it's basically a 10% increase, going from 1.225 to 1.35. Remember, Tyler Motte got traded to the Rangers for a 4th-round pick. We always kind of overvalue your own players. That's the nature of the beast. You want to think that you have good players. So a lot of people are saying, oh, that was a very underwhelming return back. Maybe, but then the Rangers didn't even decide to keep him. So the Rangers could think, well, they only got like 20 games out of him. Motte then does not get signed on free agent day. He doesn't get signed for the first 2 months of free agency. And now today, on September 14th, he signs a PTO with the Ottawa Senators. The Ottawa Senators are a unique team, an interesting team, because they have a young, dynamic group of top 6. They got in there Tkachuk, Stützle, Norris, Batherson. And then they have now Claude Giroux and Alex DeBrincat. That's pretty good. Those are 6 really good players. Bottom 6 not as strong. Pinto's in there. I think Formanton's in there. Waston's in there. And now Tyler Motte will be in there. So he joins a pretty young, pretty intriguing team. Not sure if they're good enough to make the playoffs, but I think there's going to be a lot of excitement, a lot of fun, a lot of people interested in that team. Still not a lot on D, and I think they brought in Cam Talbot, right, to be their goaltender. So we'll see about Ottawa. So Tyler Motte, I guess my question to you is, and you can start typing in the comments, I may highlight a couple of them, but I may not, is simply, what did you think of him when he was here? And I think it's unanimous. We all liked him because of how good of a player he was on the ice, penalty killer, hustle, all those things. And of course, off the ice, being very honest with his struggles with mental health and being such an advocate for mental health. All those things are good. But it can also be true that maybe we overrated him a little bit in terms of on-ice contributions. And that's not to take anything away or devalue from the type of heart he put in and everything he did for the team and the community off the ice. But do you think that maybe we kind of fell in love with him a little bit too much here from a standpoint of, it's fine to cheer on your players, but maybe we expected too much when we traded him away, or we attached too much monetary value to him? So when we were thinking about, oh, hopefully the Canucks can sign him for 1.8 or 2 million or 2.2, and now we see him signed for 1.35, kind of makes you think a little bit. So would love your thoughts about Tyler Motte in the chat. And it's okay, by the way, moderators, people can type questions in the chat right now, so we don't have to tell them not to type questions in, but if you frame it as in Clay may not answer them until the second half, that's fine too. So all good, everyone's good. And yes, a PTO is a professional tryout. It is not a 1-year contract. It is, you are basically going as a player Actually, I'll put this one up there because someone asked about it. No, Tyler Mott's is Lindsay. Tyler Mott's is a 1-year contract. Alex CHIASSON, who I'm going to get to next. Alex CHIASSON is the PTO, and a PTO is a professional tryout, and it means you're not tied. You can actually go to a team on a professional tryout, and then you can actually sign with another team. Some players do that. They go sign a PTO with a team just to kind of get some exposure, but then they may not even end up signing with that team that brought them in. And I think the story is Scotty Opshell, the veteran, did that to the Canucks, or not did it to them. It happened with him, with the Canucks. And I think it was that preseason where the Canucks actually went to play in China, and he went with the team, and then he came back and then he signed with another NHL club. So Tyler Mott, 1-year contract, Ottawa Senators, $1.35 million. Now, let's go to the other former Canuck, Alex CHIASSON. And we talked a bit about this with Park and Canucks After Dark, and I did a quick video about it today. I did a lot of research for it, actually, so I was ready to go, and then I decided, I don't really want to stretch this into a long video, so I made it a YouTube short. So I tried to fit all this information about Alex CHIASSON into a YouTube short. He turns 32 years old on October 1st. I actually thought he was older than that. Drafted in I think it was the second round, back in 2009 by the Dallas Stars. Then he started his career 3 years later, 2012-13. So he went 2 years Dallas, 2 years Ottawa, 1 year Calgary, 1 year Washington, 3 years Edmonton, and then last year with the Canucks. And then if he makes the Arizona Coyotes, it'll be his 7th team in 11 seasons. Now, last year with the Canucks, he had 22 points, 9 goals, 13 assists, 22 points. He came to the Canucks on a PTO. He made the team out of training camp. I remember, how come he made it over at the time? I remember I was comparing CHIASSON's speed or lack of it to guys like Nick Patan and Phil DiGiuseppe. I was like, how did CHIASSON make the team over these guys? Well, we kind of saw how he made the team throughout the year. Is Green and then Boudreau really trusted him as a veteran, a low-maintenance veteran, only making $750,000. You can't really beat that. And 22 points for $750,000, that's actually pretty good. He was great in front of the net, good hands, could do deflections, rebounds, go into the greasy areas, go into the crease, and that's how he scored a lot of his goals, if you remember. They're all from the goal mouth. Sometimes got some time on the power play, not just the second unit, but the first unit. Others were complaining, well, how come you don't put Podkolzin or Hoglander there? But he got his time, and it amounted to 22 points. Now, Lammikko, Motte, Highmore, CHIASSON, those were the 4 forwards that left or weren't going to be on this team, replaced by Kuzmenko, Mikheyev, Lazar, and Joshua. I think we could argue that the team certainly got an upgrade on offense in the forwards. But when it came to Alex CHIASSON, Jim Rutherford, Patrick Alvin did say that they could see potentially him coming back on a PTO. Well, they were right about the PTO part, but they weren't right about their own team. So Alex CHIASSON signs a PTO with the Arizona Coyotes, and maybe, just maybe, he sticks with them, and that becomes his 7th team in 11 seasons. So as I transition now to to my mid-show sponsor, thank you. This is when you can start to put in your questions. So I want to thank my sponsors of the show. First and foremost, my lead sponsor, Van City Experts Real Estate. Contact Jason Lim and his team for all of your real estate needs. Also want to thank Perform and Transform, personal training and weight loss, my coach Patrick there. And you can get a free 7-day trial with Coach Patrick by using the link performandtransform.ca/CanuckClay. Also, thank you to Gassy Jack Art, maker of this fine artwork, Monkey 9 Brewing, my eternal sponsor, and my brand collaborator, Vessi. You can also use the code CanuckClay at vessi.ca and get $15 off every single pair of shoes. By the way, I didn't forget, we are, I'm going to do, speaking of Vessi, I ran a contest on Twitter. It's closed now. It was actually supposed to close on Sunday. I'm actually going to do the draw right here on this channel, on this stream. So we have physical proof. And Jastrin, yes, that means for tonight, for one night only, I am bringing back the wheel of names. But I will do that at the end of the stream before I sign off. Yes, the wheel of names is coming back for sure. Now I have to go back, and I don't even know when I said leave your question. So I'm going to start right here. Fangirl says, hi, Clay. Realistically, are the Canucks more likely to get third in the Pacific to make the playoffs or making the playoffs via the wild card? I'm maybe too optimistic, but I think they're going to get third place. I think they're going to get third place in the Pacific and thus avoid the wild card. Some good chat about preseason game in Mexico. That'd be interesting. Then we got Antarctica too. So going from warm to cold. Carol Clay, how are you doing tonight? I'm great. Hope you are well, Carol. My question is, if we start a 2-week spring training, how long does it take for the players to get in shape before the first game of the year? That is an excellent question, Carol. In the past, way long ago, players would use training camp to get into shape. But then remember that training camp used to be a week long, not 2 days like it is this year. Players, especially now, they come into camp in tip-top shape already. Sure, maybe their cardio or their skating legs might not be there. Or most of them are, but you can't come to training camp and expect to get in shape in training camp. So to answer your question, how long does it take for players to get in shape before the first game of the year? I actually think they're coming in training camp already in shape. Tristan says, are you surprised that Tyler and Alex left? I don't think that Chiasson and Pettersson got along. I don't know about the rumors about Chiasson and Pettersson not. I said Chiasson and Pettersson. Chiasson and Pettersson not getting along. I don't know anything about that. Not surprised that Tyler Motte left because I think the Canucks determined they weren't going to be able to re-sign him. So they got at least an asset for him in trading him. And no, not surprised that Chiasson left given the influx of forwards for this off season. Thank you, Lucas, for the donation. Let's give some love to Lucas in the chat. Clay, considering it's highly unlikely the NHL will be going to hosting preseason in China, likely ever again, what untraditional country could host a game? Thinking Dallas and LA and Mexico City. Usually when the NHL or any league chooses to have a game internationally, it's with the thought of growing the game in that city or in that country for maybe a future benefit. To be honest with you, I don't know what a game in Mexico City would do aside from be a true novelty act. Hockey in South America, or actually, no, Mexico's part of North America, excuse me, but you know what I mean, in the south of the States. To me, it doesn't make sense. I would go to a European country that doesn't have hockey, or even an Asian country, a different Asian country. I think those would be more strategic than I think Mexico City. Lamico went back, Bruce. I thought he went back overseas. Highmore signed with someone in the NHL, but I think Lamico went overseas. Sean, we need a Canuck Clay fantasy hockey pool. Sean, that's a good idea, but between my own pools that I'm in already and the fact that I'm going to be selling a bunch of season tickets this year, which I'll get to. I'll spend a lot of time talking about that tomorrow on my show. I don't think I have time to run a Canuck Clay fantasy pool, but you guys can. Call it the Sean Couillard fantasy pool. See, it's Clay. How many stars do you think Martin gets this season? I've always liked the 2/3, 1/3 split in theory. So 55 games for Demko, 27 for Martin. As I say that out loud, that sounds a little high, but if you can get 25 games out of Martin, I think that's great. So maybe a 57-25 split. What's your favorite Demko save? It's got to be the Scorpion save, Fangirl. That was pretty cool. There we go, Lucas. That's what I'm talking about. Vancouver, Seattle, in Seoul, South Korea, or Tokyo. That makes more sense to me going to an Asian country, and not just because I am Asian. Do I think Jet Wu will make the big team this year? No, Brian. I don't think so. Even though with the right side not being that strong, so weak that we have to move one of our good left side guys over there. Unfortunately, the opportunity has been there, but he has not seized it. So no, I don't think he makes the club this year. Justin, if you had to pick the Canucks center depth as an impartial fan versus the Flames center depth, who would you take? So who are the Flames now? Huberdeau plays center, right? Or does he? Actually, let me look it up real quick. Obviously, oh no, Lindholm is number one. I saw this debate actually on. I saw this debate on Twitter, and I also saw actually another debate about the 7 Canadian teams who's got the best goalie combo. That was a lot of fun too. Calgary Flames lines. Impartial. Oh yeah, Lindholm, Kadri, and Backlund. Rooney. Then we could argue ours is Miller, Pettersson, Horvat, and Lazar. You know, I take Miller, Pettersson over Lindholm, Kadri, and I take Horvat over Backlund. Or no, Lindholm's really good though. I kind of take the Canucks maybe maybe I take Lindholm over Miller. Actually, I don't know. I do. Maybe I'm a little bit biased here. I actually take the Canucks centers. I really do. But the fact that they have Huberdeau, Coleman, Toffoli, Mangiapane, who always smokes us, and their wingers. Actually, the top 9 is very comparable. I think between the two teams, it's on defense where Calgary's so much better. Hanifin, Anderson, Uyghur, Tanev, Zadorov, and Killington. That's a lot better than the Canucks for sure. Great question. Great question. No problem, Coach Rob. Thanks for being here. I know it was a double decker tonight. Carol, when is the first game of the year and who are we playing against? And you think we have a good chance of winning our first game? Well, I know that we're on the road to start the season. I actually don't have the Canucks schedule in front of me, but I know we are on the road to start the season and we play 5 games or so on the road before we have our home opener. Yeah, regular season is not till October 12th, actually. So 5 games on the road: Edmonton, Philly, Washington, Columbus, and Minnesota. I think the Canucks can go 2-1-2 over those. I'm just not sure that Edmonton in their home opener is going to be our first win. So we might lose our first game, but then we should be able to beat Philly. Well, man, it feels like that's how they started the season last year as well. Highmore sign with St. Louis. Thank you, Jaskrin. Appreciate it. Edmund, no need to apologize. Tristan, who has been your favorite person that you Zoomed with, and who is the one that you fanboyed over? Yeah, I don't want to pick a favorite just because most of them have been really, really good. But I think from a biggest name cachet, even though they didn't do the best on my channel, to get the national guys of Drager and Duthie, that was pretty cool. But as a fanboy, I don't know, my chat with Thomas Drance, it was right when I was starting my Zoom interviews. That was pretty fun. But I really like chatting with Don Taylor because I grew up watching Don Taylor. I think he's like a legend here in Vancouver. So maybe Don Taylor was the one that I fanboyed over. And Rick Dollywall was hilarious too. Rick Dollywall was a lot of fun. Lindsay says Lamico signed in Switzerland. Thank you. Canucks ever have a bobblehead giveaway? Yes, there's quite a few Canucks bobbleheads floating around. In fact, look, 3 bobbleheads. Okay, that was weak, and then people on the podcast have no idea what I just did. Sean says, what do you think about Hughes playing on the right side with OEL? Love it. Love it, love it, love it. He's smart enough to do it. I don't think it's going to be a drop-off in his play or the Canucks play. I love it. Lucas, thank you for the donation. If BC gets the 2030 bid, are you going to revive the Clay we knew from 2010? Back to the Future. If you're talking about the Clay we knew is the one who did daily vlogs. I almost said daily Canucks vlogs, daily Olympics vlogs. Yeah, I think I would definitely have to do some of that for sure. Can teams still do offer sheets? I think they can, but I don't know that there's any RFAs to do that to. I think almost all the RFAs have been signed now. Tanner, if the Canucks have another bad season, I sure hope they don't. It's going to be rough because they've made a lot of changes. They're not in the best salary cap position. Maybe Boudreau gets canned, but I don't even want to think about that. But it's always a possibility, but I just don't see it happening. Thank you, Justin. Yeah, it took me a while to look that up. I should have just asked you for sure. Which NHL team will be in the most cap trouble coming up the next few years? That I don't know, Fangirl. I think a lot of them are, but I think Vegas always seems to be in perpetual cap trouble. So I'm just going to pick them because I always do. Brian, I think 85 points for Besser is a little high, but that's fine. Taylor, will Sportsnet stream those international games? They're going to be somewhere. I don't know if it's going to be Sportsnet, but they got to be somewhere for sure. Good question, though, Taylor. Sorry, I don't know the answer. Mialza, the Don Taylor chat from a while back was phenomenal. You pulled so many stories from him I've never heard, and I've been following him for ages. Thank you, Mialza. I do think, at the risk of sounding a little bit cocky or whatever, or maybe I'm just confident, I do think that I'm a good listener. I do think I'm a good interviewer. So for those Zoom chats, the goal isn't for me to show off how I know these guys or how I got them on my channel. The goal is to pull out their personality. Their goal is to pull out stories that would interest people who watch my channel. So I really appreciate that, Mialza. And I think I've done a pretty good job with those chats, and maybe I should get to more of them going forward. And yes, Ellie Women's Hoops, you saw the Sedin twins bobblehead. Tristan, the wheel is done. That was a contest I did on Twitter that is closed now. And there he is. Better late than never, indeed. Thank you, Jason Lim, for being here, and to Van City Experts for their amazing, Van City Experts Real Estate for their amazing support of me and the channel. Thoughts on Robertson not being signed yet? That one surprises me. That's Nick Robertson, obviously, not Jason. Yeah. That might be another one. But he's young, right? So is he an RFA? Tell me about Robertson, Jaskrin. Mialza says Minnesota might be in cap hell with their buyouts. That's a really good point. The Prezi and Suter ones are not aging well. Tristan says, my favorite Zoom was with Al Murdoch. Yeah, that was a good one. That was one of my first ones. Lucas says, if we get the 2030 bid, I may work for an Olympic value. Might have to go through security clearance. Well, you look shady. Of course you should go. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, everyone will have to go through security. By the way, I went through so much security when I went to Edmonton for that Pope visit. I've had enough x-rays to last me a lifetime, I think. Justin, your early pick for Unsung Hero. Oh, I wish I didn't read your, but actually I was going to say, even before I read your response, I'm going with Lazar as well. He just seems like the type who's going to be unsung. He's going to play hard minutes, fourth line, check, fight, kill penalties, but he won't, and he's local. So all those scream unsung to me. Oh, you had sushi for lunch? So did I. In fact, I met Jason for lunch today, and we had some wonderful sushi. And Jay, I'm not sure if you're still on, but so you don't have to rewatch it. Check out this shirt. Oh, yeah. This is how I roll. Tanner, do you think Petey is a lot bigger and stronger now? Couldn't really tell from that one media interview, but we saw the pictures from the offseason, and we heard him say that he wanted to get bigger and stronger. So my answer is yes. Fango, who do you think does play-by-play for the Young Stars? My bet is Kenward and Murphy. I say yes to Joy Kenward. I say no to Dan Murphy. I think Dan Murphy, it probably, I simply think it's not going to be part of his responsibilities. I think it's to be Kenward. And if it's not going to, if they're moving away from Sportsnet, then it won't be Brendan Batchelor. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, we'll see who goes side in the booth with Joey Kenward if it's indeed him. Edmund, seems off topic. No problem. We mix any questions now, hockey related or ask me anything. Celebrating 2 years of no alcohol by drinking water and hang out here. Congratulations, Edmund, on 2 years with no alcohol. And yes, Justin, that's awesome, Edmund. Justin, yes, I saw your pictures of sushi. Made me hungry again, even though I just ate. Am I disappointed CHIASSON didn't go back to Vancouver? Not disappointed, Edmund. I have nothing against him, but I think we have moved on from him. Jaskrin, is Jason Robertson of the Stars? I'm so surprised. Wow, I'm so surprised. What are they waiting for? Hey, Clay, what's your take on ads on jerseys? Are you okay with this? Yeah, I'm okay with it. It's the way to go. It's easy revenue for the NHL. Of course, all leagues are trying to get revenue coming out of COVID, so I'm okay with it. I'm not so much of a traditionalist that I'm gonna be upset if I see some ads on jerseys. Sidhu likes the Zoom chat with Dango. Yeah, that was a lot of fun too. Next Zoom chat video idea, the Pope. Yeah, I should have talked to him when I saw him in Edmonton. I can't believe I missed that opportunity. Tubby. Can we give some love to Tubby right now? Tubby is the young man. Actually, I met him through my son, Sean. He goes to school with Sean. Tubby is the one who did this music. So can we give some love to Tubby in the chat right now? And I think I told you guys when I asked Tubby to, because I knew he's a producer and I've heard some of his stuff. When I asked him to come up with something for me, I kind of gave him a couple samples. I said, groovy, hip hop, R&B, maybe even a bit of a gospel feel. And I didn't need it to be like that. No, it sounded more like a country song. But I don't know what I'm doing tonight. It's loopy Clay time. I think 4 nights in a row this has made me a little loopy. Or maybe it's because I did back-to-back shows. Regardless, and Tubby came up with this groovy 4-chord masterpiece with drums and with some scratches. And I love it. So Tubby, thank you for the awesome beats. Okay, I should probably and for those of you visually, you'll never have to see me dance again, or at least not tonight. And for those of you that are on the audio podcast, be happy that you did not see what I just did. My favorite Canuck player right now is Bo Horvat, and my favorite all-time Canuck player is Roberto Luongo. Thank you, Lucas, for the donation. Gravity would be excellent, and we can talk about his work with Sportsnet. That's a really good suggestion. Brian, yes, it was too bad that we couldn't meet up. I was pretty full schedule, but I did have some spare time. Yeah, Brian, I'm not sure why we didn't think about that when I was there. Tristan, who out of the new guys will surprise you? I would love to be surprised by Kuzmenko because I know nothing about him, but he sure looks good in the footage that I've seen. High T Sharks are going matching colored jersey and pants. Thoughts? I don't mind it. I know some people don't like it, but the Canucks 50th jersey was black on black, and I thought it was fine. Young Stars usually not on TV. You have to find it streaming somewhere. LA Women's Hoops. I saw this at the end of last night's stream, and it's too bad I didn't get to it before I signed off. Have I been to every Canadian province? I've been to 8 of the 10. I've been to BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec. I've been to Prince Edward Island, and I've been to Nova Scotia. And I can't remember if I've been to New Brunswick. And I think I've been to Newfoundland too. So it might only be New Brunswick, actually, is the only one that I haven't been to. Most of them for work or speaking. Is it still John and John in the broadcast booth? It will be for... Yes, the TV side hasn't changed. So I think it will be John and John. Doc Emmerich or Bob Cole, Mr. Joker. I actually only remember Bob Cole more. I didn't really hear a lot of Doc's stuff, but I hear they're both really, really good. Would I consider wearing jeans to a wedding like Don Taylor? Never, GL Rebirth. I'm not always, but a lot of times I'm emceeing, so I'm wearing the suit, of course. But no, I don't think I could pull off the jeans. So I'm not a big jean guy. Brian hasn't had beer since 2019. I haven't had beer since good. If that's what you want, good. I haven't had actually beer since 1974 when I was born. And a lot of love for Tubby, and deservedly so. Carol, and it's funny, Tubby, I know you heard me. I think a couple of days ago I said, I don't know why your name's Tubby, because I know what your actual name is, but your stage name is Tubby because you're not fat at all. So maybe it means something else. Carol, are the Vancouver Canucks not going to be on TV this year? The TV is fine. It's the radio that they're still trying to figure out, Carol. They don't know if it's going to be on Sportsnet or somewhere else. Yes, a lot of hype for Tubby, as which should be. The return of Loopy Clay. Yeah, I think Loopy Clay would be fun. See, I had saying nice moves. Yeah, that wasn't even dancing. I was trying to get the clapping out, but it was bad. It was bad. Justin, you do not need dance lessons from me. Only if you want to get kicked out of public places. Jay likes, nice to see you. Jay likes country music. Clay is funny. That was legendary, Clay. Well, thank you. Tubby Hype. Great job with the music. Will the Nucks games be on the Sportsnet Now app? Someone else will have to answer that. I don't watch Nucks games on the Sportsnet Now app. Can someone else answer, Sidhu? Brian's going to Monday Night Raw on the 26th. That is pretty sweet. Tristan says, have you met John and John in or outside of the rink? And what are they really like? I have met John Shorthouse on many occasions. I have not met John Garrett yet. John Garrett's Catholic. He goes to a church in Delta. But Shorthouse I really like. We get along just fine, but I've never met John Garrett. Tanner, how did you get Bruce in your intro? Thank you, Tanner. I will keep that a secret for now, but you can guess in the chat. And if you kind of go with your first instinct, you'll likely be right. I'll just say that. Last two, and then I will do the draw. High T, do stadium refreshments increase in price annually, stay consistent price? Well, they're never going to go down, so I think they've been going up, but maybe Justin can answer that because he works in concession. Ricky, do the Canucks make the playoffs? Oh yeah, baby. They're finishing third in the Pacific behind the two Alberta teams. Yeah, Shannon, it was a Twitter contest that I ran for some vesties, and that was back in over the weekend. I'm just doing the draw right now. Edmund, would I do a Zoom interview with Jim Houston? I would love to do that. Actually, he's next door neighbors to one of my coworkers. Justin, I've seen the TikTok, Clay. Dance lessons from you to go with singing lessons from Mr. Chang. Oh my gosh. You'd be the worst entertainer in history. Jay's met Cheech. That's awesome. Lucas is going to the game on November 1 and 9 at home, 9 on the road. Beautiful. And the WHA is hosting a reunion in Vancouver this or next weekend. I did not know that. That's pretty cool too. I think I am good. We're at 37 minutes. So I will wrap up by doing this video, this wheel draw. And if anyone's wondering how you got in or how you missed it or whatever, I'm giving away a pair of vesties. And you had to retweet you had to retweet a tweet that I did back last week. And then I gave people about 5 days to enter. We have about 40 entries. And we are going to do that draw right now because there are a couple of you that are in it. So let me make sure I know how to do this. Once again, share screen, share your audio. Okay. So there is our famous wheel of names. I think Jaskrin doesn't like it. I know NHL Nucks doesn't like it. But here we see these are the 34 entries. And you could get multiple entries. So we at least have Justin Credible here. These are all Twitter handles. That's Justin's Twitter handle. And then we will see what happens. So I'm going to shuffle it 3 times. 3. And I'm simply going to press spin. And wherever it lands, that person wins a pair of Vessies, courtesy of Vessi and Canuck Clay, but mostly Vessi. So here we go. Ah, yes, the familiar wheel of names. Wow, I'm so happy. This is my friend Darun, and I've known him for many years. He works as a beer hawker at Rogers Arena, and I am so thrilled that Darun wins the pair of Vessi. So I know how to find him. I can contact him. So congratulations to Darun. I know he'll be thrilled to learn about that. That's pretty cool. Congratulations, and thanks to everyone who entered that contest. Okay, friends. Doesn't count as a glitch or whatever, or what I'm trying to avoid, because that was a natural transition. So I almost went perfect, but I did have that one okay in at the start of the show. So if I only had one, then I can live with that. So friends, thank you for being here. As we wrap up now, I want to thank the moderators. Thank you for doing a good job. I think we had to moderate more in Canucks After Dark actually than we had to do tonight. Members, thank you. Legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang. Thanks to you. Thanks to my Hall of Fame and franchise members as well. Thank you to my sponsors, Van City Experts, Real Estate, Perform and Transform, Personal Training, Weight Loss, Gassy Jack Art, Monkey Nine Brewing, and Vessi. And mostly thanks to all of you. I appreciate you spending some time with me tonight. I appreciate you watching this on YouTube, listening on your favorite podcast platforms. Those rankings are going way better than I expected. Not that it's about the ranking, but it's a nice affirmation that we are building something good here. And by the way, we got over the 9,300 mark, so we are definitely on the road to 10, Clay. I want to get to 9,400 by the end of September. Got to move a little bit, but maybe as the Canucks start to play games and these shows become more recaps about games and Canuck-centric, game-centric, I think that's going to help the channel a lot as well. But I'm not complaining. I'm very happy with the way things are going, and I'm happy that you were here to join me tonight. So as always, on your way out, subscribe if you'd like to, like this video if you'd like to, leave a tip, a super thanks, or donation if you'd like to. Definitely comment as you've been doing if you like to. I appreciate you. I forgot to thank you, Lucas. I think Lucas single-handedly ran all of the donations tonight, made all the donations. So Lucas, thank you for your generosity as always. Okay, and congrats to Darun for winning the pair of Vesties. So as always, my friends, I will see you tomorrow night at 11 p.m., same time, same place. And if you want to watch this or listen to this again, it'll be up on YouTube right away, and it'll be up on your podcast platforms. Usually it's by the end of tonight, first thing in the morning. Thanks, friends. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. And I called the doctor today, you guys, and I tried to make an appointment, and I said, doctor, or actually I was talking to the receptionist. I said, I need an appointment I need an appointment soon. And she said to me, how about 10 tomorrow? And I said, no, I don't need that many. I just need one. God bless. And go Canucks go. Booyah.